Meanwhile, the Ministry of Health has provided our news center with video of inside the COVID wards at the University Hospital of the West Indies. Shamela Pullen has been going through the footage and now reports.
These two healthcare workers at the University Hospital of the West Indies are making a familiar walk. Under the sheet, another patient who died from COVID-19 complications. The hospital has been at capacity since the onset of the third wave of the virus. We're just a few weeks in, and the medical staff, particularly nurses, are already overwhelmed.
Usually we ought to have specialized nurses here. Unfortunately, we don't. We only have 4 nurses on the unit. That's 2 enrolled nurse and an RN attending to 26 patients, so the nurse-to-patient ratio is unrealistic.
In particular, when we have to go in there for hours to bathe these patients, change them, ensure that they eat, ensure that we facilitate their update with their relatives, and sometimes it's overwhelming.
The patients are monitored via CCTVs. Those seen here are on the isolation ward. Some are on ventilators. As for others, the pain and discomfort are obvious.
One patient is utilizing 2 ports for oxygen flow. Same right here. This gentleman had to be switched from his bed to around here to get 2 flow of oxygen. The sad part is that a lot of these patients, as hard as we're trying, they don't look like they're going to make it. He's 84 years old. First hospitalization. Sugar is out of control, pressure is falling, kidney failing, everything really going one time. And that's one of the things that shake us. Everything keeps going one time. So the minute you think you have things in control, another organ goes away, leave us.
The nurses are risking it all to save lives. Resources like PPEs are starting to dwindle, and so they've had to get creative. The situation is likened to being on the battlefield without the required armor.
Normally they have on a blue gown that gives them more protection, but this one, it tears very easily. So if it is that we're inside and we're changing diaper, it tears very easily.
They're in there for long hours, 5-6 hours in these PPE. They've not eaten, they're sweating, not even replacement fluid, right? And persons are out there having a jolly time.
I have a nurse almost faint inside on me on Monday because of how much work we had to do. And then on top of that, one of our colleagues were inside and it kind of shook us.
Last week, the UHWI said 96.1% of its COVID-19 patients were unvaccinated. The other 3.9% had received 1 dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine.
So when persons are saying they don't want the vaccines because they're not properly educated on how it works, I do understand the apprehension with regards to the amount of lab testing it has had, but it is up to us to get the information and make the decision on our own and not to follow others. Because at the end of the day, they're the ones who are going to have the scarred lung tissues. They're going to need oxygen around the clock. And by the time they think they're okay, they are not okay.
Take a vaccine. It has protected us for many years and in years to come.
Outside the COVID wards is a picture of calm, but the opposite is happening on the inside. And in the days and weeks ahead, it's projected that things will get worse. Shamela Pullen, TVJ News.